And then now we've got IShowSpeed, biggest streamer in the world, calling out Noah Lyles, running the 100, or they ran the 50 against him, and then Noah was in a Mr.Beast YouTube video racing against some random dude. I mean, that was at your home track. Did you know this was going down, or you find out at the same time like the rest of us?
So I found out the day of that Mr. Beast was going to be there. Now the speed thing, the way that unfolded, it was kind of like super impromptu, right? So somebody was on Instagram Live. I think it might have been Noah or Mr. Beast, whatever, and they were like, "We should call Speed. Like Speed lives in Florida. We should call him." So they called Speed right on live, and they put him on the spot, like, "Hey, bro, like let's race. Pull up. We're gonna do it." You know, I think it was $10,000 for charity, whatever the context was. But
hundred
Speed was
thousand
like, "All right,
dollars. Yeah,
okay, yeah. Wait, how much?
100K,
100K,
100
right? I
racks.
missed the
Oh yeah.
zero." So Speed pulled up in his Urus same day, hopped out of the car, and got on the line with Noah. I thought it was super cool how they got it about, and it's like super dope how Noah has like integrated himself into that world, you know, like the fame world, if you want to call it. But what do you think about the actual race? Like, what's your take on the actual race that took place?
Okay. All right. So this is my take on the actual race. Speed is fast. Like, he's not Noah Lyles fast, world class fast, but he is like fast. Just like, if you were to ask me, like if people were to ask me, like, oh, are you fast? Be like, yeah, I'm fast in the context of regular people. Like if you pulled up any regular person off the street and asked them to race me, like I'm beating them. If anyone in my office was like, yo, we want to race you, I'm like, I'm toasting you, but I'm not actually fast. Speed is like fast for like, some of these athletes too. I saw he ran a 40 at the Super Bowl last year in like 4.3 in socks. Like that's fast. Like that's not something that's, that anyone can do. And he's an athlete, he's doing backflips and everything. And so it wasn't like a super close race, but it was, I think, a lot closer than it looked like Noah might have thought. Like he got out well. Like he did not like Speed got out well on Noah. And there was a second, that first like 10 meters, I'm like, oh my God, is Speed actually gonna beat Noah? Like for a half second, I was like, Speed might actually beat him. And then I saw him look over. I'm like, okay, he's done. It's over with. And maybe if it was like a 40-yard dash, maybe it's a little bit closer. But he's got some speed, and then he obviously started like messing around. He was high stepping, and once he knew he won it, and people are like, "Oh, it was so close. He almost beat him." He didn't almost beat him. Like Noah was clearly messing around at the end there. Um, I don't know about if he was at 20% speed. I'm sure you might know a lot more than I would if that was 20%. I'm not too good on the eye, but it was he's quick. Like I'd like to see him in a couple more races against some sprinters for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like Speed is fast. He got my respect. He damn near made Noah shit a brick. I like Speed went back over the race on the stream and like he was like, look at Noah's face. Look at his face. Like he is nervous right here. And he like, I mean, I've been around Noah every day for some years now. You know what I mean? Like he kosher. He can keep it cool. But I saw a little bit of that composure break a little bit. You know what I mean? That's just what I saw. So it was impressive run by Speed. I was just more so happy to have that attention on the sport. You know what I mean? Like it's 2024, about to be 2025. The way that this sport grows isn't the same way it would grow in 2014. You know what I mean? Like we're in a completely different era. With the use of streaming and YouTube and monetization, all of those things. So for Noah to capitalize on that, man, hey, that's a win for Noah. Even if he lost the races, damn near still a win for Noah, which he didn't, of course. But I was just happy to see it, man. Just seeing the sport in a different light that way.
Yeah, and if you get Speed some, because his form was trash. He was not.
Cool.
He was running like a soccer player. You could tell he was running like a soccer player. If you get that guy some form, like I mean, he was on like these talk shows saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make the Olympics. You ain't gonna make the Olympics. You ain't even gonna. I don't even think you're gonna make the Olympic trials like in the 100. But like you could do some. You could get pretty fast. Like what do you think if he committed to running the 100 this year? what do you think he could potentially run in the 100 if he was like, yo, I'm gonna legitimately try?
Probably like a 10.5, 10.4.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Probably like 10
right
5,
around
10
there.
4. Yeah. It was it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Now we got to see this Tyreek Hill thing, man. I know we got they're saying it's going to happen next year, which I'd be looking forward to that. That's the next good challenger, but like you said, like he's getting into this mainstream right now. And I put out on Twitter not too long ago where I was saying, you know, Usain Bolt was obviously the best sprinter that we've had. I think what Noah Lyles right now is doing, we haven't seen someone capitalize off of their Olympic gold into the mainstream like we've seen with Noah Lyles. I mean, he had that post, like he had his social media team post all of the, you know, the highlights of him winning the second after he won the Olympic medal. Like he was ready for that. Like he did like those 5 or 6 talk shows. He's in a Mr.Beast YouTube video. He's racing IShowSpeed. He's about to race Tyreek Hill next year. And I'm sure he got this sprint documentary where he's the star of the documentary. And I'm sure there's so many other things that are, you know, going to come to fruition that we don't know about yet. Like we haven't seen someone in this public eye within track and field. Like even Sha'Carri didn't do this. Like she had a lot bigger fan base of people that loved watching her, but she didn't like interact with, she's not in YouTube videos with people. Like she wants to keep more to herself, but this is something we haven't seen in track in a long time where you got the fastest man in the world and, they're, taking part of all these things. So yeah, like he's just putting in, getting into the mainstream media that we haven't seen before. And I mean, IShowSpeed said he called out he wants to race Sha'Carri Richardson next. We'll see if that that ends up happening. But I don't hate, seeing all these new faces in track. Like I know a lot of boxing fans hated seeing Jake Paul in boxing. How do you feel about seeing some of these streamers or other people trying to get involved in track? Are you like this is making a mockery of the sport, or are you like I like to see more eyes on it?
Yeah, I'm 100% behind it. I'm completely behind it. And kudos again to Noah for being so open to these challenges and doing different things, and being calculated with it as well. I think the only other person that I can think of in a sport that really integrated themselves into mainstream culture was Carl Lewis. But Carl Lewis did it in a completely different era, you know? So for present day, modern day, like him, hate him, indifferent, Noah is definitely the talk of the sport. He's positioned himself that way. It's intentional and it's admirable, honestly. But like I said, no matter how you feel about him, it's just something that you have to acknowledge, man.